Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are going to be watching Season 2, Episode 3 of For All Mankind. As always, I'm very excited to delve into this show. I think it's brilliant. I love all of the characters, and, well, the ones you're supposed to love. And I am excited to see how their story keeps unfolding. So, last time we had Molly lying, which kind of just seems par for the course for the astronauts, honestly. She lied about her level of radiation exposure, and she's also struggling because of that. We also had a call from Aleida, so I'm very curious as to how that's gonna go and if we're gonna see her joining the astronaut program. We also had Gordo and Danielle going back up. Well, they haven't gone back up, but they're going to go back up into space, and Danielle is very excited about it. Gordo seems a lot less excited about it, but I am hopeful that it will be good for his mental health because he's really been struggling in the past couple episodes. We also saw a little bit about Danny and Kelly, which are Ed and Gordo's kids. And Danny is currently in Annapolis. Well, he's back home for summer. For good. I don't know. But yeah, he's back home, and Kelly, it seems, is leaning towards wanting to go to Annapolis. So we're going to just have to see how that plays out. Anyway, now that we have done this recap, without any further rambling by me, let's get right into this episode and see what happens.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A dramatic situation is unfolding in the Central American country of Panama today, where 4 U.S. soldiers appear to have been taken hostage during anti-American riots in the capital city.
Okay.
We'll take you now to the Rose Garden of the White House, where President Reagan is expected to give remarks any moment now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will not allow the Soviet Union to undermine peace and freedom on Earth or in space.
Or in space.
Let me be clear. The United States will not be intimidated.
Uh-oh. Well,
Houston would find room on the next Sea Dragon for some new water springs.
there goes their PR handshake.
What the hell?
What?
Hey, isn't that our gear?
What's it doing way up here?
Oh,
I don't know. Better go have a look.
did the Russians be like, fuck it? Because of what's happening on Earth?
Situation over here?
What kind of situation?
Russia's.
Goddamn Ruskies took our mining site.
Can you repeat that, CO2?
The Russians took the mining site.
He's just gonna let the Soviets take our mining site?
No, he's not going to do that either. He wants us to take it back.
I'm sorry.
As in
By force?
Go in, replace their equipment with ours, and swap out the flag again, but this time we hold it.
He wants a military occupation in space.
You're saying that the president wants us to confront
Right.
the Soviets on the moon.
No, not confront. The president's not interested in a confrontation.
How do you think they're gonna hold it?
Tell the Russians don't have the ability to occupy the site continuously, so when they leave for the day, we move in. But this time we stay.
But how do you hold it without conflict?
What do you expect these guys to do, exactly? When things get hairy, I mean.
Thank you,
What are gonna
Bradford.
ask the Soviets to leave nicely? Maybe hit them over the head with a baseball bat?
Golf club, maybe? Plenty of those up there.
Wait, hold on. Are the two of you seriously suggesting we send guns to the moon?
Y'all are the ones who want to hold it. How do you
You're
think
telling
that
me
that
the president
happens?
wants us to hold that site. And I'm telling you, that means we're going to need security, and security means guns.
No, that is absolutely.
Then
out of
you
the
can't
question.
hold
That
it.
seems extreme.
It's absurd.
There's got to be another solution.
As in literally any other solution.
How does the president expect it to happen when you're asking them to hold it?
Marines?
I was thinking the same thing.
They won't
Thinking what exactly?
send Marines up?
Well, every Marine aviator has to qualify as an infantry officer before they attend flight school, so they're the only astronauts with training in ground combat tactics.
That would be Gordo.
Now we're sending Marines to to the...
Well, he wasn't a Marine. He was a Air Force, right?
We cannot hold Site 357 Bravo without armed security. Now, I'm open to new ideas, but it seems to me we really don't have much choice.
If
the only way to hold a piece of ground on this world or any other world is a man with a rifle.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's right. We all need to be in agreement here.
I don't agree.
Once we do this thing,
but that's what y'all are telling
there's no
them.
going back.
It's like they're like, yes, we need to put our people there and then hold it. Okay, how do you propose to hold it without force? Like, do you think that the Russians are just going to be like, oh, they took our stuff and like now they're there. Our plan didn't work. Okay. We tried. I'm not saying I agree with it because you guys know, like I've been saying this whole time, I think like putting military on the moon and then having a fucking interplanetary incident is bad. But you can't sit there and be like, yes, we have to hold it. The president wants us to hold it. And then you agree that you need to hold the lithium mining site and then also balk at the only known way to hold it. You don't know how to open it, Gordo?
You never used a laptop before, have you?
Use the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Gordo is already a grandfather.
Annapolis, the Naval Academy.
Well, that's really sweet that you want to visit your father's school, but you know, it's awfully far out of the way, and I don't think we're gonna have time with this.
She doesn't want to visit. She wants.
I don't just want to visit.
Yeah.
I want to apply there.
You want to apply to the Naval Academy?
Look, I know it's different from all the schools we've been talking about, but I think it's a good fit for me.
Kelly, why on earth would you want to apply to Annapolis of all places?
Look, I didn't just come up with this, Mom. I've been thinking about it for a long time.
And this is the first that I'm hearing about it. Kelly, it's the Navy. You want to join the Navy?
Probably because she knew you would react negatively.
Why?
I know she's worried.
I want to serve my country.
Don't give me that crap. All right, there's plenty of ways to serve your country. You tell me why.
Okay. I want to fly. Tomcats, F-14s. It's a fighter bomb.
I know what a Tomcat is, Kelly, all right?
I think for Karen, maybe I'm just putting too much into this, but like, she lost a child, right? I don't think that she wants to face even the possibility, however remote or distant, of that happening again, you know?
Look, if you're here to collect a bill, I know my rights, and your entry into this vehicle was under false pretenses. You did not identify yourself or your intentions.
Aleida, it's Margot.
That would be weird after so many years.
Do you still play?
Play what? No.
Wonder how hard her life's been.
Look,
for
Aleida,
the past 10 years, 9 years. She was just a kid.
I know what I was gonna say.
Trying to make it on the streets.
But now,
by herself.
All I want to do is say I'm sorry.
No, don't do that. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry, that's not... I'm not looking for that, okay? I don't know what I'm looking for, but it's not that.
Okay.
What did he tell you?
Not much. Said your residency status under Reagan's amnesty program was about to be revoked.
Yep. Gotta keep a job to stick around. But people don't seem to like hiring me. Did he tell you that?
He mentioned it.
Yeah, because I'm a bad employee, a bad coworker, a bad team player.
A brilliant engineer. I made a few calls. All of your former employers, they all went out of their way to say how gifted you were, even as they acknowledged your
shortcomings,
behavioral issues.
I didn't set fire to McDonnell Douglas, okay? It was just a trash can in that asshole's office, and they put it out in like 5 seconds.
I know, and that Asshole said you were the best engineer he'd seen in the last 30 years.
What do you want, Margot?
Does she want to make it right?
You know, she got a big job at NASA because Margot Madison took pity on her.
I didn't come here out of pity.
Guilt's a close cousin.
You're an engineer, and we need engineers.
Rationalization.
You were closer with guilt. I do have guilt over what happened. Have for a long time, but that's my problem, not yours. Your problem is your residency status. I'm offering you a way to deal with it. It doesn't make up for what happened back then, but it's a way out. Today. If you want the job, report to the personnel office at JSC.
I hope that she will.
You just lost a son. You hadn't slept or eaten for
I think
days. You had stacks
Mikhail
of
did it.
unanswered communiques. Now, surely all of this was visible to him. So all I'm asking you is, don't you think that there is the slightest chance that maybe, just maybe, our enemies might have taken advantage of that?
I don't think Mikhail did it. If that's what they're thinking, which it sounds like it.
The Soviets have had ears on our base for the last 9 years.
It can't have been that old. They've expanded so much, surely it can't have been sitting there for all that time. Like, it's an entirely different base, basically. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
What? I know, he did good.
It's too
and you two
big
together,
for my taste, but
it's really
that's
incredible.
just me.
It is amazing. I mean, cheers to that.
I feel like it would just get stuck on everything. It'd hurt.
If Kelly really wants to do this, she is going to do it. She's going to find a way to do it with or without you. So, you know.
Better with you.
You might want to start making peace with it now.
I don't know how to do that, Tracy. I don't. Every time I think about it, I think if something happens to her, I don't feel like I can survive that. I can't do that.
The way I see it, we're the ones that brought them up in this fucked up world. Least we can do is, let them go live in it. We owe them that much.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know why that quote got me.
I got in a little bit of a car accident.
Jesus.
I'm fine.
Was she driving drunk?
Car's fucked, though.
That's your Porsche.
Yep, that's the one. Come pick me up.
Why didn't you call your husband?
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Wait. Why don't you get your husband to come and get you, Trace?
He's out of town for work. Can you just do me this favor and get me going? He's such a good guy.
Are we ever gonna see him?
He has a bit of a temper, but you really gotta push him. You know what I mean?
That's a bit concerning.
Shit.
Just sleep on the couch, Gordo. Let her pass out in there by herself. Sleep on the couch.
I'll take the couch.
Good man. If he just puts it on her, I would have just left it. I would have just left it in a pile on the floor.
You've dreamed about working here since you were a little kid.
So I ruin it by letting them tell me I'm a piece of shit just like everywhere else.
Come on. I mean, you really
Probably.
think Margot Madison would come all the way down here and offer you a job if she didn't think you could cut it? She knows how talented you are.
You should probably sabotage those
And so
other
do
jobs because subconsciously.
You were born to do this, babe. You know you were.
Okay, shut up already.
I hope she does it.
I'll do it.
Really? I'm so happy for you, babe.
Oh.
What do you mean, no?
We're done, Davy.
I'm sorry.
Oh, damn.
Are you breaking up with me?
Yeah,
Well, I think
I am.
that's what we're done, me.
But you're taking the job. Your dream job that I helped you get.
By going behind my back.
I was just... Okay, look, I know you're upset.
I was humiliated in front of that woman. Again, something I swore I would never let happen, and then it did because of you. I'm not getting over that. Ever.
Oh, okay.
Your shit's in the box. Take it and don't come back.
I don't think that Margot thought that you embarrassed yourself. You know, either time. When you were a kid the first time, she's the one who should feel bad about that. And she does. Poor Dave, though. I feel like he was trying to be a good guy, but just didn't work out for him, did it?
I took the keys to this place off your key ring.
Look, I don't have time to do this right now. Can you just give me back my keys, please?
Believe me, I would. But last time I checked, they fit these locks. And these locks are attached to this house, and this house is attached to my name. So technically, they're my keys.
No, the house is under our name.
That's another thing.
I think it's
Aren't you
fair if
supposed to
he
change that when you get remarried.
wants his
Why are
house
you still Tracy Stevens?
to be his house.
Because I'm a public figure now, Gordo. People just know me as Stevens.
Right. Astronaut Tracy Cleveland. Yeah. Guess it doesn't have quite the same ring.
You know what? I don't know what the hell's gotten into you this morning. Just give me my goddamn keys, please.
You don't live here, Trace.
My children live here,
And you
Gordo.
can come and see him anytime you want. All you gotta do is pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Is that what this is about? Me not returning your call?
No, it's not.
I think
but I'm glad you brought
y'all
that
are
up, 'cause
divorced.
I do have something to tell
You're
you that I thought you might want to know.
remarried. He wants his own house. That's not crazy.
I'm going back to the moon.
Hey, girly.
You. Back to the moon.
That's right. Decided it was time to get my shit together and get back on the horse.
Oh, just like that.
Just like that. That put me back in training for Jamestown 91.
Oh, good for you.
Columbia will be taking me back in September.
September?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to the moon in a couple weeks on Discovery. I'll still be there in September.
That's why I called. See, I wanted you to hear it from me. Not with the rest of the world in some television show.
Television?
Yeah.
Her engagement.
Does NASA Public Affairs know about this?
No idea. Probably.
Oh, God damn it. I'm not doing this space couple bullshit again. All right? Not after all I've accomplished.
That's your reaction? You worried about publicity?
I'm not gonna play the astro wife, okay? And Ed, of course, Ed just smiles and says that's fine. You know what? He's in for a rude awakening, Gordo.
I'm going back to space after 10 years, Trace. All you can think of is how it affects your press clippings?
This is bullshit.
All right.
It's absolute
Settle
bullshit.
down now.
I will not have everything I've worked for be made into some kind of joke. What is this?
I
Tracy
mean,
and Gordo?
you're on billboards promoting watches. I think
he has been a washed-up has-been for the last 10 years. It will not
Bounce
kill him
her off
if he
the
doesn't
flight.
go on for 2 more months.
Gordo's flight is set. End of story. You want off your flight? Just say the word, Trace. Just say the word. But don't expect to get another slot for a good long time. Not while I'm running this office.
Wow. Boys will be boys, huh? Y'all just stick together no matter what, don't you?
In or out, Trace?
I mean, honestly, Gordo needs it more than you do. So
I'm always in.
they're not really making her a very sympathetic character right now. And usually, like, in the past, I've been rooting for her because I always liked that she was, like, a badass woman, you know?
He missed a lot.
Like Shane?
I'm assuming this is not something that they talk about, really, ever.
Yes. He missed a lot of time with Shane. Wait, where did you find this?
Back there. Just before you came in.
This was his favorite Popeye?
I always knew this was his room. Sometimes I thought he was listening to me. Not in a bad way or anything, just the presence. Sounds dumb.
No, it doesn't. And everything was different. Like, it was okay now that there was life in here again. Let's do it.
Really? Are you sure?
You're gonna take 10 years off my life. But your father's gonna get a kick out of the football game, so it's...
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know why that got me.
I love you.
I've really liked Karen lately.
The Naval Academy.
Ah, very funny. Come on, tell me.
Really?
Is he upset or excited? No. He seems upset.
Why?
Because I said you're not going.
Well, that's not a reason. Can't we at least discuss this?
Go to your room.
Okay, he's very upset.
And she's not a child, okay?
Look, this isn't up for debate. The answer is no.
Dad, I get to have some say in this.
I said no. Okay, we're done here. End of story.
Edward, you need to stop right there.
What was that? Since when do we not talk about things?
Stop right now, all right?
Oh,
we need to talk
he's
about
upset
this as a family.
about all the
You would be happy about this.
Russia stuff.
Dad, this is my life we're talking about.
Yeah, well, you're still living under my roof, young lady.
What the hell does that mean?
Hey, watch your mouth.
Hey, Ed, watch your tone right now, all right? I don't know what has gotten
I'm the
into
head of this
you.
house,
Calm
and I don't
down.
need to explain myself to either of you.
This is
You
my
do,
decision,
actually,
not
that's
yours,
what
and
a
I don't need
family
your
is.
permission to apply.
I just so happen to know the superintendent of the academy, and if I just pick up that phone, I guarantee you that application will never see the light of
This
day.
is outrageous, all right? You can't do
I
that.
can and I will.
Great. Then you know what? I'm just gonna go down to the recruiting office and I'll join the Navy. A couple years go by and I'll apply to Annapolis as an enlisted sailor.
Fine. Then pack your bags and don't come back.
Did you say that? You
Take that back right now. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You God damn it. Mom, stop! Fucking stop! Stop! Everybody just stop! Enough!
He's worried, I think, because of the, they want Marines, right, for fighting on the moon.
I don't know why I said that. I don't want you to leave.
No, we don't. Please don't leave. I'm not going anywhere, Mom. It's all right. It's gonna be all right. No one is going anywhere. Here, what we're gonna do is calm down and talk about what's going on.
She's being the adult right now.
Dad, what was that all about?
He's got a lot of shit.
I don't know.
It's just college. I can always...
No, I don't mean like that. I meant lose you
like Shane.
Like Shane.
like Shane.
Ed, do you think it was your fault?
The dumbass probably does. I mean that affectionately.
It was not my fault.
What was it?
And it was not yours either.
I'm glad that she was able to work through that and not blame herself. It's sad that he spent all this time blaming himself.
It wasn't your fault.
I'm really proud of Ed though, because he actually sat and thought about it and then worked through his emotions to be able to explain why he felt what he felt in that moment.
I found it.
Today.
You're kidding.
I remember told me that you wanted to join the Naval Academy, I thought, what the hell is a boy from Gary, Indiana who's never seen the ocean gonna do in the Navy? That's crazy. The next thing I knew, you were in the Navy, and I was in the Navy. And our son wanted to be in the Navy. And now it turns out our daughter wants to be in the Navy too. We're the Baldwins. Cut us and we're gonna bleed blue and fucking gold. God help us all.
It's a really good scene, but it's also like fucking me up.
Girls away. No.
I assume it's the Navy song.
Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the bone. Until we meet once more, wish you a happy
I was kind of hoping the episode would end there so I could like take a minute. Like I really don't think Gordo's being at all unreasonable by wanting her not to have the keys to his house anymore. Like it used to be their house, but they're divorced and she's remarried, so like yeah. He's sick about the red lights that he saw on the moon, right? Interesting. Okay, so since it was the last scene of the episode, and since it was my obsession for a while to guess that it was aliens, let's go ahead and talk about Gordo and the red lights and what that could possibly signify. Now, we, the audience, also saw the red lights in the episode where Gordo did on the moon. Now, could that just have been the show showing us what Gordo was seeing and the red lights weren't really there? Like maybe the red lights were just a symptom of whatever sort of mental breakdown Gordo was going through at the time, right? I think that we should definitely consider that a possibility, that there were no red lights and that it is sort of a physical, even though it's not, but like, I don't know, visible at least representation of just Gordo's mental state at the time and him seeing these red lights on, it was like a radio, VHS or whatever. Did they have VHS in 1983? I don't know. They had VHS when I was a kid in like the late 90s. So I'm sure they had VHS. I actually have no idea when VHS was invented. So like ignore me. I could be wrong. I'm focusing on VHS too much. Whatever it was that he actually saw the red lights on, right, in his room. he was seeing that now because he's going back to the moon. So, I mean, he was seeing it because it was there, but him seeing it made him nervous. Like, you could see that like, affected him mentally, right? So, I'm just wondering if that is, like, going to be... Why am I talking so fucking slow? My brain is not processing things at the moment. I just wonder if that's going to be, like, a hint to us, the audience, that Gordo is still struggling and maybe isn't ready to return to the moon. Because I've been thinking it would be good for his mental health to be able to go to the moon, because there will be more people. He won't feel as trapped. There's more space to walk around inside Jamestown now. So, like, he probably won't get trapped for months and months and months, because they seem to have streamlined the process a lot more now. So I was thinking it would be good for him to go back and, like, have a positive experience as his possibly last experience, to replace his last negative experience. And it would help him to mentally climb over that hurdle, right? But these red lights got me a little bit worried about Gordo, because he seems to be worried. So I'm like, should I be worried? I don't know. Like, he doesn't, like, we know based off the last episode that he's not in a good place mentally right now. But I was hoping that going back to the moon would be a good thing for him, and so it would mentally put him in a much better place. But now it kind of seems like that might not be the case. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel. We'll just have to keep watching to see how it turns out. I do agree with him, and I think that he's completely valid in not wanting Tracy to have the keys to the house. Like I said during the episode, she is remarried. They're divorced. Like, he lives here now. He would never stop her from seeing the kids. Hey, Dino. You got so much fluff on you. I think that his reaction to, you know, him not wanting her there, when she has a whole new house, she's remarried, like, she's moved on. I think that for him to create a boundary of, like, I only want you in this house when I want you in this house, is reasonable and healthy, honestly. So I think that Tracy's reaction to that was very interesting. Like, her going to Ed refusing to take Gordo off. Now, I think that partially Ed is, you know, Gordo's his best friend. He's going to take his side. I think a lot of that was Ed taking Gordo's side in, like, the breakup, right? He doesn't like Tracy. He doesn't like what Tracy's doing to Gordo. And so he is taking his side. But I think also Ed, in the last episode, saw how fucking depressed and how in the depths of, like, despair Gordo is in this moment. And I think he thinks it'll be good for him to go to the moon, like I think as well. And so he's trying to, he's not going to take away this from his friend, because he thinks his friend needs it. And Tracy already has everything, right? At least from the outside looking in, which Ed is, because I think that he always considered himself Gordo's friend, and then, like, he dealt with Tracy. Like, I don't know that Ed ever, like, loved Tracy, right? So I think that he's, like, I think there's multiple reasons that he's doing it. But also, like, she's like, I'm not going to be the Astro wife, whatever. But, like, you're married to someone else, so I don't think that people would be like, oh, they're on the moon together, you guys. What's going to happen? Like, maybe they would be. But, like, I think it's a different situation now. And also, like, she's like, degrading to who I am, which, like, I agree. Like, she worked hard and accomplished stuff on her own, right? So she doesn't want her accomplishments to be diminished and attributed to Gordo, or to just Gordo, or to being half of this couple, right? However, it's like she's also willing to, like, do the ad in the astronaut suit for the watch and stuff. Like, does that not... I'm not really sure how that's different. I guess because she's doing the watch ad on her own as an astronaut, so she feels like that's something that she earned herself, right? I don't know. Like I said, I understand why she doesn't want to be, like, half of this astronaut couple anymore, because that's not who they are. And again, it diminishes her accomplishments that she worked hard on. But I also think it's like, just because your time on the moon is going to overlap doesn't mean that it has to mean anything. I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion. I still do not understand how they're saying it would have been possible for Mikhail to plant the bug during what we saw with him and Ed. Because, like, sure, Ed didn't, like, he still went to sleep, and he still, like, was kind of catatonic and, like, stuff, but he tied his hands behind his back. And he didn't untie them until he helped him. So, I don't know. I'm guessing they're saying it could have happened when he helped him. But is it not just as likely that it happened at a different time? Because, again, like I said, Jamestown has gone through such a massive transformation in the 10 years since Ed left. It's hard to believe that that's just been sitting up there this whole time. Also, I would have assumed, with how fucking paranoid the United States has been being the entire time we've been on the moon, they would have been sweeping that place for bugs after every transition. No? Like, that surprises me. That surprises me, honestly. Also, I like Mikhail, so I kind of don't want to think that he would do that, but maybe he did. I will say, regarding Tracy, I feel like they've made her less likable this season, but there's still moments where I like her. Like, I really liked what she said to Karen when she said, "We brought them up in this fucked up world. The least we can do is let them live in it." You know, like, so I kind of like that she's like, yeah, you know what, like, I get it. You don't want your kids to be in the Navy. Like, I'm sure that Tracy probably didn't want her kid to go to Annapolis either, but this was the world you raised them in. This was the world you brought them into. So, like, as a parent, once they get old enough, it kind of is your job to, like, let go and just let them exist in the world. And I don't have kids, so I can't say, like, how terrifying that would be. But I'm sure that it would be terrifying, right? To be like, here's this person that I've poured my entire being into, like my heart and my soul. Like, I always hear parents say having kids is like having your heart walking and existing outside of your body, right? So, like, I can't imagine that and having to let them make their own mistakes, let them grow up, let them make decisions that terrify you, because, you know, that's your heart, that's your fucking soul, basically. Like, that's, I'm sure it would feel like a massive part of you. How could I possibly loosen this grip? How could I possibly risk letting them get hurt? Even if that's what's necessary because they have to become their own person because that's what's best for them, you know? It's honestly, I think it's terrifying. Like I said, I don't have kids. I don't know if I want kids or not yet, you know, but what a terrifying prospect, especially for someone like Karen and Ed, who lost a child, and then you have a child, and it's like, I imagine the temptation to hold on so tightly and never let go would be so strong after losing a child in such like a sudden, tragic way. I just really liked that quote. And also, like, I'm really proud of Karen for her conversation with Kelly. And also, I'm really proud of Ed and Karen for the conversation that they had with Kelly and with each other. It started out real bad. Like, there was a lot of yelling. A lot of things were being said that weren't meant. But I think that Ed and Karen kind of had to have that moment, because it's clear to me, based off that scene and the scene with Karen and Kelly, that they don't talk about Shane very much. Probably because it hurts too much, right? But I think it was really good. Sorry. It was really cathartic to me to get to have that scene with Ed and Karen, because we never got to see them mourn together. And I thought, like, I think I said this already, but I was really proud of Ed, honestly, because he stopped, like, when he was forced to, right? But he was able to stop, take a second, take stock of what he was feeling, and then when asked about it, to say it, which is a very hard thing to do when your emotions are very high, right? Like, maybe not for everyone, but I think especially for, like, a man during this time period who isn't allowed to show emotions, who is sort of the only emotion that men are often allowed to display is anger, right? And this was Ed being able to display vulnerability and being able to articulate vulnerability. And I think men are often not taught the tools in which to do that, in which to unpack their feelings and talk about them. Not that men don't have feelings. Obviously, men have incredibly complex feelings, just like women do, just like everybody does. But I think oftentimes in our world, men are not taught emotionally healthy ways in which to navigate their feelings and process them, because of, you know, all of the toxic masculinity that is permeates our society, right? Which, to clarify, I'm not saying that masculinity is toxic. I'm saying that there are toxic things that hurt men, like only being able to express anger and stuff like that. So I thought that this was really, really well done. I think that it's, like I said, it's really hard for anyone when you're as emotionally heightened and in that state as Ed was, as Karen was in that moment, to be able to stop and take stock of how you're feeling and articulate that. That's a very hard thing for anyone to do, even emotionally intelligent people. There are so many times that I still have to, when I'm very upset, like, I have to wade through all this shit, you know, and like sort of dive into all of my emotions to figure out the core emotion that I'm feeling that's causing these other emotions, right? Like, we all deal with that. And it sometimes takes a long time. Like, you don't always know exactly what you're feeling when you're feeling it. And anger is definitely a very easy to access emotion. And there's always something underneath it, right? Fear, upset, hurt. You know, there's always something underneath the anger, because anger is like a secondary emotion. So I'm really happy, and like I said, I don't know how I feel like I'm talking in circles now. I'm just proud of Ed for being able to articulate that the underlying emotion was actually fear. Fear for his daughter, because he loves her and he doesn't want her to get hurt, and he, like Karen, doesn't want to lose another child. And I think that scene was just, honestly, it was everything I could have wanted. It was very hard and very heavy, but the acting was brilliant by both Chantal and Joel, right? I think his name is Joel, the actor. They both did brilliant. Once again, like, just blown away. I think that Chantal is very, very good at tapping into this sort of almost panicked sadness. And you, like, her eyes, like, I just think she does brilliant. And it was, I think Joel really did great as well. Watch me be getting his name wrong. But I just thought that was a brilliant scene. Honestly, one of my favorite scenes of the series so far. And I'm glad that we didn't just, because I was kind of worried when I was happy that they had moved on and adopted and chosen to have, you know, another child that way. But I was worried when she found the toys, and then she and Karen was hesitating about talking about Shane. I was worried that they maybe never dealt with the trauma of what happened. And so I'm glad to see that they are dealing with it now, at least, right? I was like, I wrote down R.I.P. Dave, and I was like, who the fuck is Dave? And when did he die? I have no memory of this. But I just wrote that down because Aleida broke up with him. So, sorry, Dave. I felt bad for him, because I do think that he was trying to look out for her and trying to make her dreams come true. But Aleida, it seems like it's very clear that she's got some trauma. We don't know what has happened to her or what she's gone through in the intervening 10 years since Margot kind of abandoned her. And last we saw, she had nowhere to go or a place to call home. So I imagine that it hasn't been easy. I'm assuming we'll find out. I don't know if I want to. I'm kind of scared. Maybe it's nothing like horrible, but hopefully not. I'm also curious as to what happened with Aleida's father, and if he was ever able to come back, or if she was ever, I don't think she would have ever been able to go see him and then come back again, because she also doesn't have, I guess she doesn't have citizenship. They said she had amnesty through Reagan. That was going to run out, but as long as she has a job, then she keeps the amnesty, right? So I'm assuming it's some sort of like, I was going to say like a work visa almost, right? Like she can be here in America as long as she's working, which is kind of fucked up if you think about it, because it's like you can exist in this country, but only if you subscribe to like the capitalistic society and give me money through taxes, through you working for me. Like only if you are contributing in some sort of meaningful way that I deem meaningful can you live here. I'm happy that Aleida is back. I am curious how she'll do at NASA. I can't wait to see more of her story unfold. I really like Aleida. I really liked the kid actress for her. So it's kind of sad to have to say goodbye to her. But I figured we would have to switch actresses. She's supposed to be, I'm assuming, like, let's say she was 16, 15, 16 last season. Then she's 25, 26 now. So it's going to be hard to get an actor that convincingly plays like 15, 16 and like 26, because it's easier if you're like supposed to be like 30 and then you're gonna play 40, like maybe add a few gray hairs, or just like assume that people don't really change like too much between 30 and 40. I'm honestly horrible at guessing people's ages. Horrible. Cannot. If you are between like 25 and like 45, that's usually about the best I can do. I'm like, you're somewhere in there. I think I'm just rambling at this point. I'm excited to see Aleida at NASA. I am excited to see if she becomes an astronaut, if she goes to the moon, what happens with... Oh yeah, I kind of glossed over this. We also have a whole situation with the Russians and the mining spot, and well, we have proof that they have been surveilling for 10 years. We also, they took the mining spot. We also, why do I keep saying also? This is all the same situation. I'm about to say it again. There is also the situation that we have with, they want them to hold it. So here's the thing. I talked about this during the episode too, so I'm not going to go off on too long of a tangent, but I don't understand how they think that they can hold it without force. Like, Glasses and Margot are like, yes, we have to hold it. I think that that is absolutely imperative that we take it back and we hold it and we keep it. And then Bradford and Ed are like, okay, well, what weapons are we sending up there? Because you cannot hold something without force, right? I think, like Bradford said, without like a rifle or an AK, I think he said rifle. But like that's what flabbergasted me, because like when they said we have to hold it, immediately I was like, oh, we're going there. Like, how are we going to hold it without force or threat of force? You know, it just doesn't work, because you can't just stand there and be like, we're not going to move, and assume that the Russians, who already came and took the spot from you, who now you know are surveilling you, are going to peacefully be like, you know what, we're just going to go elsewhere and get this lithium. We don't know where else it is. This is the best deposit, right? 357 Bravo or whatever. So I don't understand. Maybe because they're more scientifically minded, like Ellen and Margot, they're like not thinking in the same way that Ed and Bradford are, because they're military, or at least former military. Bradford's definitely current military. Ed is former. I don't know how it works when you join NASA, but it's just like, so I'm assuming that's where the dichotomy of thinking is coming from. But it's just like, you can't hold something without force. Like, unfortunately, it's gonna come to who's willing to. So, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I think that I am just rambling at this point. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want, you can watch the next episode, episode 4, right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode that is over on Patreon as well, which is linked in this description box down below. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this is going. I know that I rage and I also cry a lot, but despite that, or maybe because of it, who knows. I'm really enjoying this show. Like, I think that this is, it's a really, really good show. Like, the story is compelling, the acting is compelling. I always can't wait to watch the next one. Anyway, I'm fully just rambling. They are being so cute right now. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next time for more For All Mankind. Until then, bye guys. Y'all are so cute. We don't deserve cats, y'all. We really don't.